So how to create high converting, low CPM, high CTR Facebook ad creatives in 2025, specifically in times where people are just burnt out of ads. Everything looks irrelevant to them. They skip the ads super fast, and we as advertisers, we're suffering the consequences of having low CTRs. Nobody's sticking and watching a video. Things are complicated, but still a lot of people are scaling. A lot of people are making a crazy amount of money using ads. And I'll just show you a few examples of myself before we start into the video. Over the last couple of years, I managed to spend for 3 clients $90 million on ads and making revenue almost $32 million. I scaled one of my clients from $700K per month back in, give me a second, $700K per month back in 2021, all the way up to 3.3 million in 1 month at the end of 2024. Another brand, also this one in the US, from 40K per month all the way up to 700K per month on his biggest month ever. And another one from 80K, 90K a month all the way up to almost 300K, 300K. And yeah, it's been a success. One of my highest spending days was 67,000 in 1 day, just 3 ad accounts. So pretty cool stuff. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to create these ads. What is the 5-step system that I'm following right now that I did not used to follow in the past, but me adapting to what is happening and what is going on with ads and social media and the behavior of people. This was necessary, okay? And the first thing that I'll tell you is the React and copy strategy, which is most likely what many of you guys are doing right now. And if it's working, nothing against it, but it's short-term thinking, and after a few ad creatives, we pay the consequences of not having developed our own system, right? So the React and copy strategy is basically going into your competitor ads library, just seeing that, because I'm on makeup, I'm in the industry, I have a makeup brand, I'm gonna go to L'Oréal Paris, and I'm gonna see, wow, they've done this video with this hook. I'm gonna tell my team to do the exact same thing. And then you go into the next brand and you say, this other brand is doing this other video. Okay, so we're also gonna do this. And then I go to my team and I tell them, hey, edit this video. And then after that, I go into YouTube and I watched a video by some Facebook ads gurus, and they say that the best format right now is to have a podcast clip. And I just buy one of these mics and I record a podcast clip to use it as an ad because it looks organic. And then I'm gonna do that. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, it's all about testing, and you've been testing and testing and testing. And at the end of the day, basically nothing works because you are not understanding how to sell your product. You don't have a system. There's no creative flywheel. So basically you're going to the market, you're reacting to it, seeing if you get a winning ad creatives, sometimes yes, sometimes no, and then back from zero, go again into the ads library, try to copy some stuff. It just doesn't work, right? So today I'm gonna show you the copywriting artist 5 steps to creating these crazy ad creatives. And by the way, quick intro about myself for the ones who don't know me. My name is Manuel Gomez. I'm a Facebook ad scaling specialist. I do a little bit more stuff than Facebook ads. Like for the brands that I run the ads for, I'm doing a lot of consulting on ad creatives, on landing pages, on flash campaigns, but basically e-commerce growth for the last 8 years. And managed some big budgets, overall over $25 million in the platform on Facebook ads for my clients. And I'm on the trenches. So I'm actively spending money on Facebook ads. Usually right now I'm spending in between 10 and 15K a day, every single day on the platform. And I'm seeing all the changes. I've got quite direct access to Meta, so I get the updates a little bit earlier than the average advertiser. So I share that with my clients, with the people that I'm coaching, my community and stuff. And we try to anticipate these changes now with Advantage Plus sales campaigns, with all the Advantage Plus packages and the things that they're removing from the ads manager. So it's pretty cool. And also I'm in the trenches in the aspect that I'm actively coaching 50 plus people. And I get to see a lot of brands, a lot of businesses, what people are doing in Europe, what people are doing in the US, Canada, how to sell here, how to sell there, what's working in this niche. So that's pretty cool. International speaker for Facebook ads and scaling. And I've done some cool stuff when it comes to masterminds and training people and giving, helping other people actually scale. Also on the B2B side, I've trained 9-figure corporations, just go to their offices and train their team. So pretty cool stuff. But let's go into this. With that being said, you're most likely to pay attention now. So this past week, I've been designing the Ad Creatives modules for my program, because a year ago, I did all the media buying aspects, all the ad account structure, testing, flash campaigns, a lot of things. And everybody now is really good with that in the program. But I wanted to add, of course, these Ad Creatives modules. And if you're in the program, that's being uploaded this week and next week. So it's going to be nice. And we will see it in the coaching calls. But basically with that, I realized, okay, let's just put it in a 5-step system and share this with people and just put a few examples, because this is the way to do it nowadays. There's no other way. The React and copy thing is just going to make you fail, burn money with testing and testing and testing, and you will not feel in control. So this is the thing. Let's go over it now. So the very first point here in this system would be how to sell to cold traffic audiences. Facebook ads, like, we're selling to people who are on social media on a high dopamine state, just consuming and consuming and consuming, and they're not actively there to buy something. So it's very cold traffic, and we need to understand how to join that conversation, how to talk to them in that state and make it very tailored to them. So the second module that I've got in this Ad Creatives module is basically breakthrough advertising. And I made a 20-page, you see it here, 20-page summary of the book on how to implement everything that the author explains into Facebook ads. Amazing module, but if I had to summarize it here for YouTube, this will be basically the image, right? So you've got to understand your product, the mass desire that's existing in your market, and then develop a copywriting strategy to bridge from the desire to your product. And we're gonna see how now. So a few quotes from the book that I find very interesting is this: the greatest mistake marketers make is trying to create demand. You do not create demand, you capture some already existing demand. Your ad must enter the conversation already taking place in the customer's mind. Then the product is the mechanism through which the desire is satisfied. So this bridge. And then you cannot create advertising that works without first knowing the state of awareness and the sophistication of your market. Okay, so from this, I can extract that it's gonna be very important for my ad creatives, the fact that I know the mass desire in my specific market, the state of awareness of the user, and the market sophistication. If I know these three things, then I'm gonna be able to create relevant ad creatives. So the whole goal of this thing is to have relevant creatives that when people receive your ads, they automatically think makes sense, instead of what are you talking about? So those are the only two reactions that somebody can have of your ads. Makes sense, or what are you talking about? Skip. So what is mass desire? It's basically the inner desire. It's not I want to sleep better. Mass desire would be reproduction, and you've got like 10 or 15 mass desires, but basically reproduction or being attractive. We might have status and social approval. We might have security, then things with money, etc. So basically, what is the core desire existing in your market that your user eventually wants to reach? What's that? And you have to detect that. State of awareness, it's basically how much does the user know about your solution, about your product, about the specific problem that you're solving. Like, how much do they know? Because if they don't know anything about your product, you've got to speak in a way. If the average user knows about the problem that they have, but they don't know that a solution exists, it's a different thing. But even if they're not aware that they have a problem, first I will have to make them conscious of the fact that it's a problem. So it's a very different style of communication depending on the state of awareness. And then market sophistication is basically new versus old, or something that's burned. So fat loss is burned. So when a market is burned, you need a new mechanism. Everybody knows that, yeah, I'm fat, I have a problem. I'm fat, I want a solution. Everybody knows that there are a lot of solutions. But if you go now and in the market and your offer is eat less and do more exercise, people know about this already from 50 years ago. So it's not something cool. It's not gonna have market fit because the market is super sophisticated. You're gonna have to develop something like take this special tea and you will not have to follow a diet. You will not have to exercise because this will blend into your metabolism and speed it up and whatever. And it's proven across these 1,000 people and whatever, because the market is very burnt. If the market is new, you can have a very simple messaging. But now you have to put these three things together. And that's point number 2. When it comes to the advanced research framework, okay, we have a few points when you make your research, which is the most important thing. And the first one is going to be mass desire, state of awareness, and market sophistication, right? So when you're making your research, I have to know what is the mass desire in my market. If I'm in beauty or I'm in any other niche, what's the mass desire? What's their state of awareness? Do they know about my product? Do they know about the general solution? Or are they aware that they have a problem? You have to determine that. And then go into market sophistication, and based on the level of sophistication, you will develop one message or another. So first things first is applying these 3 filters into your product, okay? Specific, mass desire, let's say, is becoming more attractive. State of awareness is solution aware, but they don't know your product, but they know about the specific solution you're talking about. So you have to position your product as better than the others. And that will be the messaging. And market sophistication, usually all of us, we are in 3rd stage sophistication. So you've got to position your offer as something kind of new. Once you know this, we would go into reviews. And this is going to tell me what does the user want. So what does the user want? And we're gonna do 2 things. You can do your reviews, and usually here you will get a lot of angles. Competitor reviews, and then for similar products you go into Amazon and you check the reviews. And what I like to check is the 3-star reviews, because this is people that are unhappy but not super unhappy. If you go to 5 stars, they will just say it's amazing, thank you. And if you go to 1 star, it's basically gonna be haters. So check this, and this is gonna give you a lot of angles. What do they care about? And try to gather that into a CSV file or a big document, and then move it into ChatGPT. Then go into your competitors' ads, but I'll tell you how to do it. Competitors' ads and then social media intelligence. So competitors' ads, I don't care if you use the ads library. Ideally, you should use something like Magic Brief, Atria, or Foreplay. So you want to get 2 things. You want to get from each competitor longest running ad, and then what's the end goal or format that repeats the most. So these two creatives will tell you what has been working for a very long time and what are they actively testing right now this week. And these two are the actual informations that you want. Like recently, what's the format that's all the time present there? Oh, images with the product and a girl creator. Okay, so that's I see it here, they do it here, 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 here. Okay, save that and do it for 3 to 5 competitors. You will get a lot of intelligence there. And then fourth point, social media intelligence, it's basically you have to understand what's going on in their organic experience. So essentially you have to blend into the organic experience. So you have to think, when my target user goes into Instagram, what do they do and what do they see? So if they see, depending on the age, depending on the market you're in, etc., if they consume a lot of long format video, it makes sense for you to have a 2-minute ad. But if in the other case, you're targeting 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and they're consuming 5-second videos, don't try to put a 2-minute video because it doesn't make sense. You don't have social media intelligence. You will not blend into what's going on in their feed. So you basically, it's going to be like, imagine this is what they're seeing in organic, boom, 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 boom. And now the ad appears and they then continue to see more organic content. So all of these are videos, but then your ad appears here, and they are starting this journey of having fun, and then you have to think, how do I interrupt them here so that they don't continue consuming more content, but instead they see the whole ad and they go into my website? How can I do this? So make something similar to what they're experiencing. If they consume a lot of images because you are targeting fashion users and they consume images like on Pinterest and they want to see outfits, just put that in there. So the main thing is blend in, okay? Now, point number 3. Once we are intelligent, we know how to sell to a specific user, we know information about the market and what's going on with competitors, what are people's complaints on the reviews. I know a little bit of my market already, what's happening, okay? Then I develop my own angles. So I'm gonna give you an example. Angle testing, which I would do in ABO. This would be an example. I'm not working with this brand, but it's a very simple example of a brand testing angles. So in image number 1, they talk about digestion. Image number 2, it's the same image and they talk about stress. And image number 3, they're talking about energy. So I would put first image in ad set 1, ad set 2, ad set 3. And after 3 to 5 days, what I would like to check is the CTR. This would tell me the early interest. So what's on the impulse, whenever they see the creatives, how many people click on the first one and the second one and the third one. And then with this, I'm seeing on what angle are people more interested or less interested, what has more potential. And then after that, I would find a winner. But these 3 angles, you have to find them based on your research and based on the mass desire, state of awareness, and market sophistication. And based on that and the reviews and the competitors, you develop angles. 4 is format testing. It's like, okay, I found out that, for example, stress here is a winning angle. So how do I put that? Of course, because this image is pretty ugly, I'm not looking for ROAS. I need ROAS now, so this is not gonna give me a crazy ROAS. Let's find more images that are more punchy. So this one, it's related to stress. No time, no problem. And then 3 features here, okay? Then another one, busy moms drink this every morning. I'm also talking about stress and people that don't have time. Cool, it's a video now. And then another video. I don't say the word stress, but here I'm gonna show a person that's very stressed and it's moving this all the time, and where do I put this? Which one is this? I'm displaying the idea of stress, and this is the before. And now the after, which is my product. Remember this picture? Okay, so exactly this is what's going on here. So with this brand, there's no stress, all of this is empty, she's happy, here she's sad and worried. So yeah, and you have to think like first on, for images, how do I develop the winning angle? What can I do? And for images, you can start to develop, for example, split screen images. You can develop a product and headline. You can have a collage, which is a split of 4, and you can have more kind of formats there. But then, for example, on the split screen side, you can have a before and after. You can have, so yeah, images, split screen, before and after. I can have step 1 and step 2. I can have 2 benefits, etc. And then product and headline, I can say stress in 10 different ways. And then collage, it's the same thing as the before and after, but in 4 steps. It would be basically this. And more, and that's just image, so you would extract all of this just from image. And then from video, it's gonna be the same thing, but you would do, for example, a studio format, then a UGC, more raw content. Then you would have AI voiceover thing, and that's it. And then for each one of them, I can do many things, which is like product demo. I can do before and after. You can have a founder video. So it's really infinite. Testimonial, tutorial. I don't know, that's just a lot, okay? So, and then it's this thing. So there is a lot when it comes to format testing. For each specific case, you will have to prioritize a thing or another thing. And you don't have to do everything at once. And this will add some chaos to you, and it will be expensive. And that's the exact reason why before this, we have to find the winning angle. And before testing angles, what I have to do is research. And before research, what I have to do is either watch the module in the online program if you're in the program, or join the program, or read the book, okay? Because everything will cascade into, I know how to sell to cold traffic, and then I do the research, I develop very specific sniper angles, and then those angles I go into format testing, which here I start to put in hours and testing and hiring people, and the freelancer, designer, editor, and then UGC, and then a shooting. At this point, you have commitment already, okay? So you better do it the right way. And then after format testing, I started to think about expansion, because you don't want to have just a very good week, a very successful week of new ad creatives, boom, 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 and then stop, and everything dries out, and you have no ad creatives. And I've seen the cases from members of the program that they do not renew the ads for 3 months, and then the brand is dying. So don't do it. So expansion, it's getting interesting. So yeah, so with all these angle and format conclusions that I had, imagine my winning angle is, we said, just to do an example, my winning angle is, talking about stress, and my winning format was, let's say, a before and after video, so like a transformation. It doesn't mean that all the time I have to split the screen and say before and after. I can do other things that resemble a transformation. So I realized that for my product, the best is this. And this is a big win. Like, this will allow you to scale until a certain point. But you have to ask yourself, what else can I do? All the time. And that is this. So, one example, I can do the same winning format, the same winning angle, and I can change, for example, the gender of the UGC creator. But these are just random examples. What you have to do is sit down every week and realize what else can we do. Same winning format, same winning angle, and we make a more organic format that seems raw, seems unedited. Oh, we actually did it last week with a client, and now it's under test. But we said, okay, we've got something that's a winner, but it looks very edited with graphic design and stuff. Let's make it organic. Okay, makes sense, because I feel secure. We've got the winning angle, we've got the winning product, everything is good. Let's make it in another way. And then introduce negative marketing. This is just an example. So if the example was stress, you do something like, I thought this was a scam, but when I tried it, it reduced my stress like crazy. Something like that. Or you're using X type of product the wrong way, or you're trying to fix stress the wrong way. Negative marketing. And on top of this, every single week you have to develop new hypotheses. And the most important thing for the video, turn it into a routine on the Google Calendar. You want to do one new hypothesis per week, and then you want to do 3 reiterations of winning ads per week, for example, every single week. And then after all of this, we go into this, and not only we expand with creatives, you can expand into landing pages because you had the stress as the winning angle. So why not doing a listicle? Top 5 reasons why this product is the best stress fighter or whatever. Or an advertorial, and you tell a story of a very stressed mom that was about to get divorced, and thanks to this product, everything changed and life is wonderful now. Whatever. The other thing is you can improve the offer by adding a free 21-day no stress program that solves the specific problem of the angle. So if we're talking about stress, 21-day no stress program, whatever. And we give them some clues, some tips. It's made by a doctor. You hire a doctor that just adds some proof to that, and you make a really good offer. That's just gonna come from expansion and sitting down every week and thinking, what else can we do? So I hope you could understand a little bit the format that we do in 2025 with my clients, the one that I teach in my coaching, and then I get inside, I get involved with one-on-one sessions, and we basically develop this. But the main thing is just run away from the react and copy strategy. Don't just go here and copy something. Don't just go to YouTube and try to find the best at creative format and then use that next week, because it's just short-term thinking. And in this channel, we do things differently. So yeah, I hope this was enlightening. I hope it was useful to you. And yeah, if it was, subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in working closer with me, either in one-on-one coaching, you want to join my community, you want to see my online program, whatever, you've got a link in the description. You can book a call with myself, and you'll just fill up a form and I'll give you all the information. Pretty simple. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Ciao.